Hi, I'm Sharon Netze. I'm the engineering manager of the Qnx Car 2 application platform, which integrates key QNX technologies as well as third-party technologies into a reference infotainment system. And I'd like to walk you through some of those features right now. So first we're going to take a look at the home screen. Got a navigator bar across the bottom to select different panel views of the UI, as well as a status bar across the top. We have a summary of information about current navigation information, multimedia, current weather, recent messages. So this is intended to be a summary screen to provide kind of aggregated information within the platform. Navigation is obviously a key feature of any automotive infotainment system, so we've got a screen dedicated to that, as well as media, including radio and music playback, a car settings screen where we can do various settings in the vehicle, climate control, audio control, those types of things. Communication, so interacting with, making hands-free phone calls, receiving various messages, as well as a application screen for various standalone applications. So I would like to highlight the fact that this entire user interface is all done in HTML5. But we wanted to basically push the limits of HTML5 and see if you can actually build an entire automotive head unit with this technology. And so you can actually see that the functionality and the responsiveness of the system is actually quite fast. And part of that is due to the unique browser architecture that allows us to run these different main panels as different web views, so we can actually get very good performance, as well as partition them off so that they're not interfering with each other. So that's one of the very unique capabilities of this platform. And then we're going to get into navigation. So here we're working with a partner navigation company, TCS. What they've done here is we've got a 2D map, which is done as a native application, and then a set of HTML Chrome for searching for various settings and entering a destination. So what we can do is we can find something that we've recently navigated to, and we see Beach Sports Bar and Grill. And I'd like to add that all these menus and UIs are all done in HTML5. And then we'll go. And TCS is an off-board navigation, so it actually is going out to their servers in the cloud and pulling out this information. And what we've got is the ability to do a 3D map of the travel route. So this is in downtown Detroit in this case. So again, we're blending a OpenGL 3D map with a HTML5 set of controls. And you can actually see as you switch away from that screen and back, they actually behave as if they're a single application in the platform. And that's part of the capabilities that we allow with our main screen composition manager. And to kind of go back to the home screen, we can also take a look and see when we go back to our home screen, we actually get the turn-by-turn on a different screen. So although in the architecture these are treated as separate applications, we can actually share that information between and across applications quite easily. So it allows for a very powerful system. So this was TCS, and we'll stop that. All right, now we're going to take a look at another navigation application that we also have available on the platform. So Telenav is another nav provider of off-board navigation, and Telenav is the maker of the Scout navigation system, and got a number of various features that you can go through. So you can search through a number of POIs. You can go and take a look at, we've got a number of favorites that have set. So here's kind of some things that are nearby, or we've got trying to find the nearest airports to our current location. And then if we wanted to program into a route, we can go and take a look. We've got a number of different preset routes. So here is the program to work, and here we actually get the choice between a route A and a route B, which is a really nice feature. And we can also do, when we take a look at the navigation map, they actually have a nice feature. You can change between sort of a 2D or a 2.5D view of the map. And of course, you can move and scroll the map around from the touch input. So it's really quite a nice, intuitive system. So next, I'd like to take a look at some of the media player functionality that we have on the system. So if we switch to the media screen, we've got a number of different capabilities available: radio playback, music playback, video playback, of course, only when the vehicle's in park mode. Ability to search for music and things like that. So we're going to take a look at some of these features. And so if we first take a look at the radio, we've got basic radio control. We've got a number of, obviously, being able to switch through a number of preset stations. And the really neat thing is that this is a radio application completely written in HTML5, connected down to the DSP of the actual radio. Of course, if you wanted to grab this widget and spin it around as well, that's okay. You can give it a little flick, flip through different stations as well. And of course, we've got things like seek and scan as well, also implemented in this. So it really just shows the capabilities that although this is a browser engine running HTML5, you can still interact with native services as part of the automotive platform. All right, so now we're going to take a look at some of the media playback capabilities that we've integrated into the platform. So if we go into the media player, got a set of albums that we can take a listen to, hit play, and we've implemented a cover flow feature, and this is again done all in HTML5. So some of the technical challenges that we've had to overcome is we want to try and avoid doing things in JavaScript and try and take advantage of the CSS transformations where possible as part of the WebKit browser, because those actually get plumbed out down to the graphics processor. So you get a lot better animation performance and a lot less CPU usage on the main ARM processor. So anyway, you can see that the performance is really quite fluid and quite nice. So then if we take a look at some of the other capabilities that we've got. So here I've got a iPod, and I like to plug that into the system. And you see it gets detected automatically and shows up in the browser. So this is really interesting in that we're looking to solve the problems of how do you make a web browser engine actually talk to a physical iPod. This is not something that it's actually intended to from the beginning. So we're working on the ability to plumb into the native interfacing and get access to these types of media devices. If we go into the iPod, we can take a look at some of the media on the platform. And pick a track. And again, here we are accessing the media on the iPod from the browser. And again, we're accessing audio as well as metadata and album art as well, pulling it off of the iPod and bringing it into the browser HMI. So it's a lot of unique challenges that we face in solving these problems, but once they're solved, then that becomes part of the platform. And just to show how this is all real and all the up and up, I can detach my iPod, and it automatically switches back to the jukebox on the local media store. So now we're going to take a USB stick with some media, and we're going to insert it into the system and get access to that as well. And our USB stick is automatically detected. We can go in there, select some of the content, and start playback. So again, we have the web browser engine is able to access the media that's on the USB stick, its metadata, and its album artwork. So basically showing how we're adding in the plumbing from the browser engine and the HMI down into the media subsystem. We can search for content. So you can search through different devices that you have available in the car. We'll search on the USB stick, search for Black Eyed Peas. Do a search, here we go. Again, now we're accessing the media again. So all the plumbing for the access to the media database is also available for various search capabilities. And just to show how this is all real and completely plumbed in, we can pull out the USB stick, and we go back to the jukebox that's playing on the main hard disk in the car. Some of the other media sources that we are able to access for, we've got a couple of DLNA devices. So in this case, we've got 2 tablets in the rear, and we're able to access the content via DLNA, be able to take a look at the artist albums and play from there. So again, different ways of bringing in content into the platform. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the vehicle settings screen, see some of the functionality. So we've got a number of different areas available. We've got an audio control. So of course, most vehicles, people want to have a hard volume control or on the steering wheel. But we've also provided support through the HMI. So you can adjust audio settings. And of course, this is actually plumbed in through the status bar, which is actually a completely separate browser application in the platform. And you can see how it's plumbed in, and the control shows up there. We've got an audio control widget, so you can change around the balance and fade of the system. And again, this widget is all done in HTML5, and we're taking advantage of CSS. So again, we can get that plumbed out to the graphics processor as part of the browser engine. Other capabilities such as bass and treble, again, these are all plumbed down into the main OS so that we can get access to the native OS services, say if you've got a most bus or whatever where you want to interface with a most amplifier. We have climate control. So again, most vehicles you likely would want to have hard controls, but we can still interface and access those controls by the HMI and have them interact and be interacting with both hard buttons as well as soft controls. And also just have a little bit of fun with HTML5 and show some of the capabilities that you can do. And the temperature settings for the vehicle are also updated on both this main UI and on the status bar. We've got a virtual mechanic functionality, so this gives you information about various vehicle settings in the vehicle. So we've got things such as fluid levels. We've got traction system, braking system, electrical system, powertrain, these types of things. And this is all plumbed down into the OS level so that if so it's all ready so that you can integrate that in with the real vehicle systems in your platform. So basically just showing how that HTML5 UI experience can interface down to the real world of the vehicle. And then finally, we've got some personalization settings. So the idea is that you can have different driver profiles for people coming into the vehicle, and they can save the various settings for the system. So we've got navigation, so they can save some of their history if they want. We've got media, so if you want to save the radio presets on a per driver basis, those types of things are all possible. Vehicle settings, climate control setting, preferences, mirrors, that sort of thing. So all this is plumbed down into a database so that we can get access to it from the main UI and switch those things. And of course, things like communication, remembering the last or the preferred Bluetooth phone that each driver has paired with the system. And then we've got the concept of being able to create an avatar and a profile. And of course, we've also have the capability to reskin the UI in the fly. So if you want to add different types of skin. So here we've switched to a different skin. So now that's applied to the whole UI. And you can see that now we've got more of a blue theme to this head unit. So again, different users can have different preferences. And if you wanted to download different types of skins from the cloud, that can also be achievable. So this is all using the power of HTML and CSS to take on these reskinability features of the UI. And it's actually quite simple and quite natural for HTML developers to use these types of tools. So we'll switch over to the communication screen. And we're currently paired to our cell phone via Bluetooth. And we're using the Cybercom BlueGo stack, which is a value-added integration with the Anywhere Bluetooth stack. And we'll try and set up a hands-free call. We'll give my buddy Andy a call and see if he's around.
Hey, Sheridan.
Hey, Andy, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Really good, Andy. Remember that video you called me into?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting in the Qnx Jeep right now filming it. I've been here all day.
I'm sure you have. It's been a pretty enjoyable experience, hasn't it?
It's been all right, but I'm looking forward to the end of the day, so I should probably go.
Okay, well, see you later. Have a good time.
All right, thanks, man. Bye. Great. All right, so in addition to hands-free and the echo cancellation, we're currently working on some of the new Bluetooth features and profiles, such as the phone book access profile and the message access profile for getting access to email and SMS and that type of information. So please stay tuned for subsequent releases where those features will start to show up. So now we're going to take a look at the application section. And the app section is a way to extend the platform by including third-party applications, say from an app store from the cloud. So in this section, we've got a number of different groupings, and you can switch back and forth either by hitting the tabs or by swiping with gestures. And again, this is doing all done with HTML5, so we're taking advantage of the CSS animation capabilities of the browser, plumbed down into the graphics processor to get that nice smooth feel. So And a lot of platforms, tablets where you may see this capability, that's typically done in C code or OpenGL. And the fact that we're doing this in HTML5 just shows where HTML5 has come to. So now we'll take a look at a few different applications. So we've got a Pandora Internet radio application. There we go, and then that's a little bit loud. We'll drop that down a little bit. So again, this application is a pure HTML5 application. It's actually downloaded from the Pandora site in real time when we actually click on that link. And you can take a look at different stations and things like that are available. So one of the other features that we've worked with Pandora is personalization features. So if we go into the platform and we change to our other skin, what we actually do is we can apply that same CSS skin for the head unit to that Pandora application that we've downloaded from the internet. So we can actually take advantage of basically dynamically reskinning that HMI on the fly to match the particular skin of the UI. And you can imagine if you're downloading this across different vehicle lines, different vehicles can actually take on a different skin, even though it's the same Pandora application that's being used. So anyway, so we'll switch back to our Jeep theme, just to keep things consistent since we are in our Jeep. And we'll go back to our application platform. And we'll shut down Pandora. And we've got a number of different internet radio applications on the platform. So Slacker Radio. We also have TuneIn Radio. So again, the different services available from all these different services are all readily available because it's all done in HTML. So some of the other features that we've got a parking app from Best Parking. So again, when you're driving around the city and you're trying to find the best spot to park, either a free spot or maybe the cheapest spot to park, here's an application which goes out to their cloud-based service and pulls down the relevant information, and you can get access to the best spots to park in based on where you are. And then some of the other types of features. So we also have a browser feature. So this is a browser. So of course this is not for when you're driving, but when the car is parked. But here is a full web browser application. And the really interesting thing about this is that the full Chrome for the browser is actually all done in HTML5. So here we're adding in a new tab, going to our favorites, go to Hacker News, and take a look at things. So all the Chrome, all these bars here, navigator bars, back buttons, creating new tabs, is all done in HTML5. So it actually adds a really easy way for you to reskin your browser application to give it your own custom unique look and feel without having to get into all the nitty-gritty details of trying to actually program a browser application. So that's really quite neat. So we look at this. We've got an HTML5 browser engine running our HMI. We've got a set of HTML Chrome running inside of that, and then we've got actual HTML content being rendered for that particular page. So it's really quite unique and powerful platform. And so I think those are most of the features that we like to show. There are some other unique features, such as some of the voice recognition features. So if we try something out here.
Command after the beep.
Find Starbucks.
Updating information for Starbucks.
So we've actually gone off to the cloud. We're using a natural language cloud-based processing. It's gone off and found Starbucks and then fed that into our navigation engine. And then we can, of course, go find Starbucks and go and set up our navigation to do that. So it's quite handy for keeping your eyes on the road and not messing around with the system. And then if we, some other applications of this, we'll stop the navigation. We'll try something else.
Please say a command after the beep.
Get weather for Dallas, Texas.
Weather data has been updated for Dallas, Texas.
So then we again recognize that off board, and then the system will launch the weather network application and bring up the weather for Dallas, Texas. And again, this weather network application is all purely HTML5 based. So again, just showing the power of all the different types of things that you can do with QNX Car and the platform that we built together. So you can take a look at short-term weather, long-term, as well as getting some map data for the current weather basically in your area. And we can have that hooked in, tied in with the current GPS coordinates of where you're traveling so that you can get weather information for your route. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the bridge technology that we've implemented into the platform. And bridge is similar to the mirror-link technology to bring in apps into the car, but in this case we're using HTML5. So we're connected to a smartphone over Bluetooth, and we've got a number of applications. So here's a calendar application, and this is actually being served up from the smartphone into the car, and this is purely over HTML5 being served up from the phone. And we can access our calendar, take a look at various information on that system. And then similarly, we've got applications such as here's a messaging application. So this will actually go and grab email from the phone, again presented from an HTML5 application. So this is all done in HTML5. And we see this as a very unique technology, basically bridging the gap between smartphones and the head unit, bringing in applications. And it can be all sorts of applications. Could be Twitter apps, Facebook apps, YouTube app, OpenTable apps. So kind of the sky's the limit. So as applications get written for the phone and downloaded, you can then easily get those up into the vehicle without actually having to go in and physically download applications or go to an app store and download them directly onto the head unit. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to walk through the feature of the Car 2 platform with me, and I hope that's answered some of your questions. And please stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more features coming up and a lot of great things coming from QNX.